So we've done theme 1, transition 1, theme 2. Now we're going to do the second transition. Your book will often just not even include this, but because of people like Beethoven and onwards who really sort of mushed up this area, and they call it closing section or unstable and then closing section because they get themes. But the old school way I was taught was theme 1, theme transition, theme 2, transition, coda, and I think that stands up pretty well in lots and lots of pieces. Clearly this is transitional, and then there'll be another section at the end that's going to be coda-ish or terminative in nature, happens over here on measure 50. So we've got to get from, well, like 38, 39 to measure 50, and that will give us our transition, okay? So pushes us forward. It doesn't change key, because now that we've already changed key, we want to stay here until the development section. That being said, it will still do a bunch of unstable things and some interesting chords and chromaticism things, maybe to keep keep us on our toes. Okay, so here we go. This is a 1 chord that we cadenced on, and we had that, and now this will do a little run or Alberti bass kind of thing and get us into, here. We could analyze this if we want, but I don't want to. It's a monophonic thing. It does follow harmonic structure. See the 1 chord there. You can see like the 5 and the 1. Like it's 5, 2, 1, 6. I guess I'll do a little bit of this, right? This would be like a 5, 6, 4, and then a 1. Mostly just doing that back and forth. A 1, and then this would be like a 4 chord right there, because B flat and D 6, right? It's kind of dumb to go that way unless you really want to get into the weeds on this. But the 1 chord takes us to a 5 right here. This is from our ear training, fa, re, ti, ti, fa, re, ti, ti. So C, E, G, E flat, also doing this. I got this in the way, so I'm just going to write up here. This is a 5, 6, 5 right there, right? And then it becomes becomes the next lowest note in the group. And so it's a 5, 2, right? Right? And it just does it again. This is Mozart reusing his idea, right? He's got lots of music that he has to write constantly, right? So fa re ti ti, fa re ti ti. Woot! 2 pages done. All right, we're getting there. All right. So, and then it goes do re mi fa fa re ti ti. Well, I love me some repetition, so I'm just gonna do this next. I'm just gonna get some free points in here. This is my 5, 6, 5, 5, 4, 2 or 2. This is my 5, 6, 5. This is my 5, 2 right there. All right, now let's go back and get these guys. So we came out of a 5, 2. That'll be like a 1, 6 right there, right? F, A, C. And then it does seem like he's doing these things. So you can feel like this is all 1 chord with fillers that crank up chromatically, and that wouldn't be too wrong, but you can easily identify a lot of these. So we'll get as many as we can, I guess, right? So this is like a E, C, E, G. It's a 5, 6, and this is a 1 in root position, and this is a C, should be an E, G, B flat, so it's going to be a 5, 4, 3, okay? And then we have this G sharp. C and G sharp. You could call it an augmented, like a C augmented, right? C, E, G sharp, and then, but this is like a non-chord tone, and I just feel like he's cheating. I don't know. If you want, you can call it a 5 augmented. I just feel like that's saying, hey, look, I saw a sandhill crane. Super rare. It's not that you couldn't have seen it, but it's probably a different kind of crane, right? Bird watching aside, right? But then we have this A chord right here. Is that a 3 chord? I just think I think this is supposed to be like 1, 5, 1, 5, and then goofy because of this half step. But this feels like the F, A, C again, even though the F isn't present. I just feel like that's a 1, 6, and then it does that again, and then it does a 1, 6, like that. Okay. And so guess what we're gonna do over here? Yay, free points, right? 1, then 5, 4, 3. I'm gonna call this a 5 augmented just because. If you want to put the, that being the 5th, you could go like 5 augmented, 6, 4, I guess. flat, right? 6/4, and then 1/6, and then 5 augmented with a 6/4, and then 1/6. Okay, and here's where it gets interesting. We've driven out of that, and we break the clouds in gravity, and then we get to float and do this thing here. These are non-chord tones. You can see that he's bending back and forth. So we have a B flat and a D. Well, I think that's a 4 chord, right? And then we have a C and an E. I think that's a 5 chord. And then, oh dear, well, hold on a second. We have a B flat, or a D and an A. That kind of feels a little bit like a 6 chord. Let's check this out now. It's not chord tone. See this C sharp and the B flat? That reminds me of a 7 diminished chord, right? Like if we were over here and we went like C sharp, E, G, B flat, that's like the outside pieces right there, which would be C sharp would be 7 of D. So this is like a chromatic, like you're going 4 or 5 expecting 1, and he's going to give you a deceptive cadence, but he's even going to throw us for a loop before then, because you don't even get the 6 chord right away, you get the something of the 6. This is 7 diminished of 6 right there, okay? And then we have a little cadence, and then he's going to do the same kind of thing. He's just flipping the texture, which is a brain trick, composition trick, right? So here we go. You can ignore this. Look, got a G and a B flat. That's a 2/6, in the key of F still, right? And then I've got a C with an A and an F, which is going to be my 1/6/4, and then they resolve up and down. So this is going to be my C and my E and my B flat. So that's going to be my 5/7, and then I'm going to put that all there, make a bracket, and I've got a 1 chord, right? And then see F A F. This E flat right there, that's changing that 1 chord into a 5/7 of 4, but that's okay. I think we're going to 4 or 2 or something like that. I mean, it has that kind of feel about it, right? And if we look down here, well, there's my 2 chord, which is almost as good as a 4 chord, I think. But let's take a look here. We have a D and F changed clef, right? So F sharp, A, and C. So this is a D7 chord, which is 7 of, of the G chord, which is my 2, right? So Mozart's done a sort of chainy thing here where he goes like 4, 5, psych, okay, 6. Now he's going 1, 5 of 4, psych, not going to be 5 of 4. It's not, it's not going to go to 4. Instead, it's going to go to 5, 2 of the G chord, which is 2, and then it's going to go to 2, like that. He's actually making a sequence here. Can you see this sort of diminished structure with the root on top making it a dominant chord going to there, and then he's going to do it there. So he's making sequences, you know. Took this idea, and then he inverted the texture and tweaked it a little bit, and now he's taking this and turning it into a sequence so he can spin out sort of a nice journey that he wants to go on, right? Coming up to the end of the section right here, sort of delaying. So this is my F chord again right here, and this is my 7, well, 7 of F, but then we have the C up top. So this is 5, 2, right? And then 1. Not 2, sorry, yeah, no 5. Not 2, got my figure bass wrong. 6, 5, sorry for the confusion. I'm getting texts and I'm getting distracted. There we go, right? And then he's going to do another little cadence, sort of like he did here, different, but same idea, and this will end our transition 2, and the rest of this will be what I'd call coda, or closing section, right, which is terminative in nature. It will take the same idea and sort of cram home the 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, maybe some other chords to loop around in there. Let's have a little look and see what's going on here. I don't think that's important. We have a G and a B and a D and an F. This is a G7 chord. That makes it a dominant of C. So this is a 5, 6, 5 of 5. And then C is right here, but before we get to truly to the 5 chord, we have some 1/6/4-ish things going on. That's a 1/6/4. This leads up to an appoggiatura, making dissonance as it becomes my 5/7 chord. So it's a hanger over, but it's like there for dissonance, and we can ignore it for the chord. So C, E, G, B flat. There's my 5/7 right there. Put that all with a 5 underneath it, and then a 1. And look, a nice, perfect, authentic cadence for the end of my transition. Woot! Let's keep going.